So a statement was made by Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman on foreign soil, where she was asked a question on targeted attacks against minorities in India. She responded, "We would like you to listen to what she said, and then we begin our discussion."
To say it's all the blame of Government of India, I would want to say, then tell me, between 2014 and today, has the population dwindled? Has the deaths been disproportionately high in any one particular community? So I would rather invite these people who write these reports to come to India. I host them. I host them. Let them come and let them stand alone in me and prove their point.
So on the show, we are asking a simple question. Nirmala Sitharaman's minority report, is she stating a fact when she says that the population of Muslims has not diminished? In fact, it's only growing. So this is proof that they're not being persecuted as perhaps in the neighborhood. Is this a fact? Because it is. But then, does increase in population necessarily mean no targeted attacks? Can that argument really work? I would like to introduce our guests on this discussion. Professor Geeta Bhatt continues to be with us. So does Aparajita Sarangi, MP Lok Sabha of the BJP. And we also have Mr. Mahmood Paracha, lawyer of the Supreme Court. Ms. Sarangi, I would like you to answer this question first. Do you feel that this is a correct assessment to make, that just because the population of Muslims has grown in this country, it means that they are not victims of targeted attacks?
Whatever Madam Nirmala Sitharaman has said, I think it is definitely an indicator of the fact that we are walking the talk. Sabka saath, sabka vikas, sabka vishwas or sabka prayas. We want an India where everybody gets his or her due. And for that matter, I must say that there has been absolutely no persecution whatsoever. We have tried to kind of improve the status of living of all, including those of Muslims. Imagine the way we debated for saying goodbye to the triple talaq, and we brought that bill and we passed the bill in the parliament. So I think this Prime Minister Modi's government has done for our Muslim sisters. Now, I have lots of figures. I wish I could get time and I could be kind of placing these figures on your table.
Sure.
Pre-2014, you know, out of the Muslim population, only 20,000 people have been given skill training. But after 2014, this figure has gone up to 2 million skill training imparted to the Muslims. 5% had been absorbed in government jobs pre-2014, and now during these 9 years it's 10%. These are all government figures and can be verified. 3 crore scholarships pre-2014, now it is 5 crore scholarships. 70% girl dropout rate before 2014, and now it is just 30% girl school dropout rate. So I think on all fronts we are trying to do our best for all, including
Ms. Sarangi,
Muslims.
you see, what you are highlighting is, of course, the human index, and that is appreciated. I mean, I don't think anyone is debating that. The question specifically was on targeted violence and statements that are made against the minority community. And to
now
that effect,
tell me what kind of violence?
of the BJP, Parvesh Verma of the BJP, on the Haridwar Dharm Sansad and the subsequent action that was not taken. Now all these things have put a great degree of doubt in the way the BJP is, you know, what you are saying and what is happening.
See, law has to take its course. We never interfere with the way the judiciary would function, and law, the courts will function. So whosoever is to be prosecuted will be prosecuted by the courts, by the judiciary, by the Supreme Court or the High Courts. So I think let's have faith in the judicial system. Let's have faith in the constitutional bodies. And as far as our Muslim brothers and sisters are concerned, I am sure they are aware of the fact that all the provisions of the budget also has been increasing with every passing year. This has to be acknowledged. Okay. And there is peace and tranquility. Now give me instances. I mean, give me instances. See, let's talk with facts and figures.
No, I'll give you facts and figures right here.
Prime Minister Modi's government walks the talk.
Cow vigilantes, they kill Muslim men in Haryana, drive with bodies for 20 hours. March 2022, Muslim pickup van driver transporting animal carcasses brutally assaulted by villagers in Mathura. And this list goes on all the way back to 2015. I mean, this is a very long list. It will take a lot of time. But Mahmood Paracha, do you feel that what was said on foreign soil by Ms. Nirmala Sitharaman is also a fact, that Muslim population has increased? However, the rate of growth of the Muslim population is dipping faster than the rate of growth of the Hindu population. This is also a fact. But it is also a fact that targeted attacks are also happening on Muslims. Everything is a fact.
But the biggest fact remains that a cabinet minister, that to finance minister of the country, goes to Washington and raises India's internal issues. I mean, this is the worst than any member of parliament going to any university and saying things. This is our own cabinet minister going and raising our internal issues and trying to present a picture which is so hollow that will be used as a platform.
Paracha, she was asked a question.
That's what I'm saying. She should have said, being
What
minister,
kind of statement is this?
Where? Now you
What kind
cannot,
of statement is
you
this?
cannot criticize now a simple member of parliament going there and talking there. So this is worse than that. That is one. Two, then you say something.
I'll give you a right to reply, Ms. Aprajita.
Can I finish?
Yes, please.
Or will I be getting another chance?
No. Please carry on.
Now, the fact remains that this argument was such absurd argument. There are Supreme Court judgment, there is empirical data, there is Law Commission's report, there are reports of Scheduled Caste Community, Scheduled Caste Commission reports, Scheduled Tribe, Minority Commission's reports, which say that targeted killing of Scheduled Caste, Scheduled Tribe and Muslims are on the rise. Now, exposing India by saying such an absurd thing that because the population is increasing, that but India is going down on every human index, not just Muslims, Scheduled Caste, Scheduled Tribe. So exposing India to such a dangerous situation by our own finance minister, and that to something which she should not have done. And I mean, we will discuss our problems, fight within the framework of our constitution inside India, but not outside. This is absurd, ridiculous. All this is being done. Now, main thing today remains. What is the main issue? Mr. Adani and Mr. Amit Shah. Mr. Amit Shah himself goes to Bihar and says that I will hang these people upside down. This is the message the Home Minister is giving. So Nirmala Sitharaman Sahiba has exposed India to this kind of criticism.
Okay,
Mr. Amit Shah is
so you have compared this to Rahul Gandhi's speech. Professor Bhatt. Yes, Professor Bhatt, how would you respond?
Well, Sanketji, I think it is very ironical that a country which is the largest democracy in the world, is the mother of democracy. We have to prove our secular credentials on a world forum because there is an ecosystem worldwide which tries to produce the kind of reports trying to portray that minorities are not safe in India. Now, historically also, we are on our soil. First mosque outside the Middle East during Prophet Muhammad's time in the 7th century, Chiraman Mosque in Kerala, was built on this soil. There can be innumerable such examples which can be given here. 1,000 Polish women and children were saved by Maharaja of Jamnagar during the World War II, when at that time nobody, including the British, were ready to take them and save them. For more than 2 years, he looked after them during that time, and then they returned back to their country. So it is really very unfortunate. But as Sarangi ji also explained with the data, we very clearly see that in the past couple of years, the way the minorities have been empowered and the way they have been integrated with the mainstream. Earlier, they were secluded. They were not the part of the mainstream at all. They were always being given, trying to be portrayed as if that they are being favored by giving them, various kind of schemes, but they do not want to be patronized. They want to be part of this country.
You are talking about Human Development Index. I am talking about issues of targeted attacks, because that was the crux of the question.
Yes, Sanketji, there have been there have been various such unfortunate incidences, but is it that they only happened in the last couple of years? 2013 Muzaffarnagar riots. Who was, Nirmala Sitharaman ji said it very correctly. It's a state, law and order is a state subject. Who was in power at that time in Uttar Pradesh? We very well know that. Bhiwandi riots in 1970s, which is one of the worst riots in the, in the history of riots in this country. Who was in governance at that time? In Uttar Pradesh in the 1980s in Meerut when the riots took place, it was the Congress party which was in governance. The fact remains that these are some unfortunate incidences which have taken place, but they do not
So you feel that there is an ecosystem which propagates this. However, I think it is also equally important to address issues of concern, particularly related to targeted attacks and violence, through action. And is that action happening? I think that is a subject matter of debate. Thank you very much for joining us, Mr. Mehmood Paracha, Aparajita Sarangi, as well as Dr. Bhatt. Thank you so much.